Hello and welcome back, Team Bedrock. This is your host, TNC Cuban, and today, we are on another episode of Truly Bedrock Season 1. Oh yes, we've made, as you guys can possibly even see, a little bit of progress. Oh my goodness, I've been trying to expand and do a little bit more with this thing, and it's just... it's taking a lot of time, and I ran out of obsidian, but I did get a lot of portal frames put up, and I also did dig another giant hole, basically. Yeah, I dug out this entire area, placed all of these portals, and kind of got these lit up and got those going with some zombie pigment. Yes, things are flowing, things are moving, and things are going. We are definitely upgraded from the other gold farm, because the other one was just too slow. Now there are still some other upgrades that are needed to be done, like, well, we've kind of got to upgrade like our killing system. We kind of got to see if we can try and get some XP out of this thing, because we don't want to just collect the drops. I mean, we do want to do that. We want to AFK it completely, and that's one of the reasons why we got this thing so big, is because I want to be able to try and get, like, I don't know if I can, possibly, hopefully, about 3 stacks of gold blocks per AFK session. That would be at least my minimum requirement or minimum request of making this farm as big as I've made it. So let's go ahead. We're gonna actually jump over to our collection area, which I'm definitely gonna have to move, because if you guys notice, we have like it 2 wide, 1, 2, but I'm actually planning on making this 3, so it's like 3 by 3 chunks. So it's basically going to have lots of portals. Now, I'll probably end up leaving that middle one blank just because, I don't know, I kind of like it empty. And it might, I don't know, I might decide to AFK in the center for some other farms and stuff that I'll have going on and kind of make this as the center chunk. But yeah, we're definitely going to need to get some more obsidian, and I'm also gonna have to dig out some more, because right here where I have all these chests, yeah, those chests are basically everything that I've dug out. Yeah, there's lots of blocks and stuff here. Anyways, I do plan on digging out this area also, another 20 blocks like I did on that side, so this way, like I said, we can have a 3 by 3 area. But for right now, I have this little temporary entranceway. Yeah, I just kind of elytra down here. This is very unique to the transportation of the top and bottom, and I basically just use my rockets and my elytra to go from the top and bottom. Got my beacon set up down here because, well, I just needed to dig out every area from the center, which this was kind of the center point. And yeah, this is where all the zombie pigmen fall down, which I'm surprised I don't see any falling down. Usually it's pretty consistent, but it's not the biggest. There's still some work that needs to be done. I also got a sorting system put in right here. Basically, a zombie come down, the items go into the chest, goes into a dropper system, feeds through water evaded up over into those hoppers through the sorting system, and then also, well, we just toss out the rotten flesh, because I have got way too much rotten flesh sitting over at the other area, because yeah, there's just too much. There's way too much. And until, whoa, that's kind of a weird visual glitch. I can see through the world that's cool. Anyways, yeah, we've got way too much rotten flesh, and I don't have any villagers to trade them with, which I may actually incorporate somewhere into this area. Basically, since the bottom of where the portals are, where the zombie pigmen are kind of being in the catch tray, that's at about Y34, I think, something like that. So I got between here and there about 20 blocks difference that I can actually try and get some other farms for, because I'm definitely going to need to get like a bigger carrot farm. So yeah, this is what we've got set up. This is what I've been working on off camera. Yes, I know I kind of did a lot, and I do apologize. I just really wanted to get it done and get some gold going. So yeah, now that I've slept the night away, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and actually come up with a better entryway for this like farm area, because what we have over there is just quite not that great. We were literally just flying in and out of it. So we're going to actually make a way to where we can actually get up and down without having to fly. And I think utilizing some dark oak would be actually pretty nice to make this place not look so bland. And I'm going to use some stairs, so this way I can actually take a couple of these blocks out, throw some torches down, and then we can have some hidden lighting behind the wall, so this way it's not like this dark, ominous like tube or thing. There we are. Now we have a place to go up and down from our little zombie killing area. Now, I'm probably going to have to move this beacon because this beacon is kind of in the way from the entrance and exit to this thing. And I'm also probably going to have to redesign my item collection system because this is pretty much on Bedrock. And I'm also going to want to make a system where we can actually kill him with a looting 3 sword because we can get a lot more drops. Plus, we're also going to need the gold swords for our XP repair station that we have set up over in the shopping area. So before I take out the beacon, let's go ahead and see if I can mine out a little bit of an area so that way I can make sure I have enough room to work with for the collection system and also the killing area because yeah, I don't want this to be too small and I don't want to tear down the beacon before I have the opportunity to dig this area out. And hello, Slack Lizard. Yeah, I was down there mining. I found him up here and yeah, I have a feeling that he's looking at what I had a theory of, that there's a bunch of mobs kind of backed up underneath the ground. So let's go ahead and see if we can take a look at it because I am curious as to how bad it is. I know I've heard some skeletons while I was down there, but yeah, let me go take a look real quick. Okay, load up the entity viewer and let's see let's see how bad this really is because I know I haven't done any lighting up in that area at all. Oh wow, what is that? What is that? They look like those are skeletons. Wow. Okay, I definitely need to light this area up. That looks like there might be a spawner. I see 2 chests right there, so maybe that's a skeleton spawner. Yeah, I think there's definitely a skeleton spawner down there. Yeah. Oh, man. Gotta go light up some stuff now before Slack kills me. I really should have looked at this a lot sooner. Yeah, that is a skeleton spawner that is loaded up while standing right here. Yeah, that is just terrible. Look at all those guys. And also, I'm getting some zombie pigmen built up right there, which is odd. Here's the sensor, so... Okay, they're falling now. I don't know why. Oh, because it looks like there's some baby zombies that might be holding them up. I might have to work on that collection, or the zombie... catch tray a little bit because it looks like they might be getting caught up right there. Yeah, definitely gotta yeah, okay Slack, I'm working on it. I am definitely working on it. Really? Let you record this? Let you record the crazy like mob spawning stuff? Oh my goodness, you guys are just terrible. Where's that skeleton now? Oh, Slack's got him. Okay, he had to bring the whole crew over here and everything. And many hours later, and by many I mean literally lots of minis, because I spent approximately, I would say, 7 hours lighting up all the caves around here, trying to get things all kind of worked out. Because as I was lighting things up, I would kind of travel out a little bit of ways and then come back to the center, which this area was the center, travel out another little bit of ways, like kind of going through caves, killing mobs, lighting up areas. I would always kind of branch out just a little bit so that way whenever we would go out to the other areas, which basically would mostly I would end up over in the village that's over there, which let's go ahead and pop up top real quick and I'll show you. I would end up in that village right over there, well, underneath that village, because there's actually a mine shaft underneath that's got a lot of like intricate like ways and stuff. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I would always just I would end up over there, then I would come back over here and just kind of look for new caves that I haven't explored, and it just seemed like they would always end up leading back over there. Now I did find a few that would lead over this way and of course that way and the other direction, but like I said, mostly that way. So yeah, I mean, I'll definitely have to get a perimeter actually made, like an accurate like made perimeter, like kind of map out the entire chunk loaded area for this, and just kind of maybe just slap down areas that are going to have some slime in it, and then also make sure that all the caves surface and all the caves below and the surface are basically lit up, so that way there's no other future issues like that, because we are definitely going to want to make sure this thing is mob proof for if and when we do AFK, and because I do have some future plans on trying to make a mob farm. Yes, I know, I think Foxy and Slack have already kind of started doing something, but that's fine. They can do their own. I can also do my own and get my own gunpowder. I'm tired of buying rockets from Mr. Slack. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. We're actually going to be heading back down to the beacon area because there was a few things down here that are a little messed up after kind of AFKing a bit, so that way I could get some, well, you know, gold. Why not? I mean, that's kind of the point. After I lit up the areas, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna AFK over here. So one of the problems that we've had is that the sorting system didn't work. Now, I did kind of get this design from Rogue Fox's video because I was like, oh, make use of the pistons, uses a little bit of less redstone. It's kind of, you know, simple. I like this. This is kind of a nice, neat, cool looking design. I kind of don't really care that it's expensive. It's just I think it looks cool in comparison. However, the problem is as soon as this gets, well, I kind of put that filter there. As soon as this gets maxed out to 64 golden nougats, what happens is it actually starts lighting up the other torches around it and kind of basically opens up the rest of the hoppers and kind of just messes up the whole system because it only has 2 pieces of redstone. So yeah, I do have, and I think there is another version of this that should be able to work where instead of using only 2, you can actually use 3 pieces of redstone, so this way it gets that extended signal. So this way, if one of these hoppers kind of get maxed out with 64 items, it doesn't kind of ruin the rest of them or mess up the system. And just a quick look at what we have for Rogue Fox's design of the item filtration system. Now, I don't know if he was the original creator of this, but I mean, it works really good, and don't get me wrong, because it actually does work pretty well. The only issue that I have with it is that when you do start to actually put more items and basically you kind of overfill the system, what happens is it does not no longer become a tileable system. Basically, you can't put the filter systems right next to each other, because basically what will happen is, you know, both of these torches right here underneath the hoppers are supposed to stay lit, so that way these blocks are basically stopping the hoppers from taking anything out through the sorting system, and basically, like I said, they need to stay lit. So only the items that are being taken out from the very specific spot that it's supposed to be coming out of, I don't know if any of this is making any sense, but basically as items flow through, they're only supposed to be taken out of one and not both. So basically, when we go in here and if we overflow the system, which does happen especially in Minecraft when you have a lot of blocks, basically it's turning off both torches, and that kind of makes the system like null and valid because this redstone signal is coming all the way through to the other side because there's only 2 pieces of redstone, rather on this side, which is the classic system that we've always used but has its problems on Bedrock Edition because sometimes items do get past it. Basically, this one will not have a problem with overflow. Yeah, that light will stay on no matter what. If I go ahead, yeah, I can try and overload it all I want. That light will stay on, which will mean that the hopper right next to it will always stay locked. So basically, if you combine the 2 types of systems, I guess you could say, you can kind of come up with the same thing or a similar design where instead of using just 2, you can actually use 3. And that's by moving it 1 block away from the hoppers and kind of using the comparator output that, you know, reads the hopper through a block. And basically, if we do this and we kind of chuck it, well, that one had bones in it. Let's see, do we have bones down here? Yes, we do. So if we overload it, and basically just the one torch turns off and the other one stays on. So let's see if we can actually test this, because we want to make sure that this actually moves a little bit faster, because the problem with this one is that it has that repeater on here, and that repeater kind of slows down. On this version, it doesn't have the repeater and it kind of goes direct, so we shouldn't have the same issue with this version and or with this version where it's basically doesn't have like that overflow protection. So let's see if I can build this up a few more times so we can actually test it out and see if it's going to work for us on the server. Alright, so I got 9 modules built up, basically the same as that one right over there. Pistons, obsidian, redstone torch. Yeah, basically the kind of simple sorting system that you would usually do. So let's go ahead and see if we can actually test this out, because like I said, what the problem is with the one that has the repeater underneath it, that one would always, not always, but every once in a while it would skip an item, and an item that you have like set for the filter system would end up in the overflow chest. So basically right here in my hotbar, I have everything that's set up, which is ink sacks, trap chest, blast furnace, and all these stuff. Basically they go kind of down the line. Now this was just literally random choosing. So I also did grab some non-stackable items and some other stackable items that, you know, because we're just going to run everything through the system to see how it actually operates. So let's go ahead and start dumping everything in here. We're actually going to kind of dump it all in a different order. Let me just get all this stuff out of my inventory first. Okay, so now I just kind of got all these items just randomly kind of thrown around, and this is a trap chest. That's why the hoppers haven't pulled it out quite yet. So let's go ahead and close the chest out, and yeah, let's just kind of wait for all the items to pass through and see what happens. So hopefully we should, I guess, see all the items start through here once I guess it starts passing by. Let's see if we take a look inside this hopper. We can see that it's got the ink sacks that are passing by. Yeah, we can definitely see the items passing by. So let's just go ahead and take a watch and let it see about finishing up. All right, all the items have passed through. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if we got, looks like we didn't get anything extra. Yeah, so everything in these chests should be a full stack of 64. So stack of 64, 64, 64. Yeah, these should all, yeah, that actually works pretty good. And I mixed it all up. It wasn't taking too long for that to go through the system. So yeah, I think this is a system that we're going to be going with for the, for the gold farm, because we're going to definitely need something a little bit better than what we had, because yeah, we couldn't kind of have overflow of items go through and have it all messed up. And at least with these, like I said, if I was to take all 64 and just kind of throw them in here on top of that, yeah, it would just be just fine, and it wouldn't take out the other filtration system, because that's the issue that I was having. So let's go ahead and head back on to the Truly Bedrock server and, well, realm server. Sweet. Now that we have a killing station and an item sorting system, yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Now, what I decided to do is, because I didn't want to do like tons of hoppers and I didn't want a sorting system, basically on one side, I kind of wanted to do it symmetrical, see, both sides. Now, obviously I have shulkers right there, but I will be moving some shulkers right there. Also, just for like, you know, golden carrot systems. Anyways, yeah, so basically you can see where that golden nougat kind of gets sucked in on that first hopper. This rotten flesh kind of comes around, and then it gets sucked in by that hopper. And then what will happen with the rotten flesh is it'll go through into this, if I can probably not see it. Anyways, it goes down into some lava right below, so that way, yeah, because we don't need that much rotten flesh. Yeah. So yeah, that's where the rotten flesh ends up going. Now, I did try to do it as a stackable, or sorry, non-stackable item filter system setup kind of thing, I guess, over here, but it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, because sometimes I'll get rotten flesh in here along with these swords, and I'll also get some golden nougats, and I can actually show you that here in just a moment. Let me break this, because sometimes we get some gold nougats also right in here, because I'll need to kind of maybe revamp this side for the stackable items and also maybe the rotten flesh. So probably what I'll end up doing is I'll do a sorting system for the rotten flesh, have that go into lava, then after it collects the rotten flesh or disposes of the rotten flesh, then I'll do the non-stackable item filters, and then hopefully, you know, whatever items that may get left over, or any extra like gold nougats that kind of, you know, maybe don't make it into these chests, we'll be able to collect this. Even though it's not very much, I mean, it's kind of, you know, it adds up, I suppose. And oh yeah, I have not been standing here very long since I've been explaining this, and look at that, we've got a lot of zombie pigmen built up over here. And you guys seen, I don't have it all completely done. This is literally, it's just like the two chunks, 1 and 2 over there, and then the other ones, those portals are still not lit because I haven't gotten enough obsidian to kind of finish completely building it. So yeah, once I get enough, or not enough, but once I grab some more obsidian, which will probably be on the next episode, we are definitely gonna kind of build this thing up to a crazy like system. But I might have to improve this before I do that, because if I was to drop those zombies from here to down there, or the zombie pigmen, if I was to drop them down to like this level, it doesn't kill them. So yeah, I might have to come up with another system. Anyways, for now, this works, and it works pretty good as long as I kind of keep an eye on it and keep maintenance on it. So but yeah, let's show you kind of basically, and grab some potions. Now, if I throw this over here, you can see how they all die, and then a huge amount of zombie pigmen basically will die. And, you know, I get a ton of XP from it. And the system kind of does pretty good considering, but like I said, I need to work on this side a little bit more with the filtration system. So let's go ahead and throw this up there. Look at that. Nice. Lovely, lovely XP. Look at all that stuff kind of overflowing. It's so nice. It collects the items pretty fast though too, considering that it's not working, considering that it's not 100%. So yeah, you can see all those items just kind of flowing. This is why I wanted to do the water system, because it just looks so cool. That just looks really amazing, and I really wanted to do this kind of maybe as the design of this system, that you could just see how, yeah, everything just kind of goes through and then gets collected and put in its supposed to be proper place. But like I said, this is a little, yeah, we got some rotten flesh in there, we've got some rotten flesh in here. Let's see if there's any nougats. Yeah, there's a gold nougat in there, and it's basically not supposed to work that way. And yeah, we got a sword in here. Yeah, so the system's a little messed up on this side, but I'll have to actually work on that a little bit more, which I'll probably do in between this episode and the next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much all I have time for today on this episode of Truly Bedrock, which, you know, I actually had a little bit of fun doing some of the redstone kind of testing with you guys. I know it's a little bit different than what I usually do on my Truly Bedrock episodes, but it was kind of fun. It's kind of fun. You guys got to kind of see maybe a little bit of what I do on the back end, you know, like kind of behind the scenes. So before we actually take off and head out for the end, let's head on over to the comment library, so that way we can actually kind of get you guys going. We want to make sure we stay on top of this. So last place we left off was episode 4, and that was Mr. Snowman talking about the way I say nougats. It's nougats, man. So we're on episode 5, and episode 5 is Utter Dark Void. And he says, good luck, TNC. Also build a ton of redstone power build. Haha, don't lag the server. I'm like, man, my response was, don't lag this server. What fun would that be? Because, I mean, hey, if you're not lagging the server, you're not doing it right. No, I know. Lagging the server is probably not the best idea. At least I try not to. But, I mean, come on. You got to go with the big builds. Episode 6, we have Zeech. XYCHE, I'm not sure. Zeech, that's the only thing I can think of is how it's pronounced, so I do apologize if I pronounce that incorrectly. But he says, oh, I see you're thinking to join Zloy and Silent with those pebbles. Hope to see you join them, because I want Slack and Foxy to be mad they were hating pebble systems so much. LOL. Now, I mean, I'm not necessarily full one way or another, but I see the perks and the kind of benefits of the pebble system, that you can actually kind of, I don't know, maybe work with item filtration systems. Maybe I'm thinking of it on the redstone side. So I might actually utilize it both ways, where I have one shop or two shops, or, you know, depending on how many shops I have. I only have 2 currently, but depending on how many shops I end up having, I may do 1 or 2 of them with the pebble system and the others with the diamond system. So right now I'm not really too sure which one really makes much of a difference, but I say, hey, why not try playing both fields to see which one benefits the most. Episode 7, Victim Born. Would it work to pull the door out one, reverse it to hold the sand up? You know, this is referring to my carrot, my giant carrot, my carrot shop. And, you know, this was probably like the best one, because I didn't even think about doing that to kind of hold the, not sand, but the powdered concrete. That's what it is. But I didn't even think about doing that to hold up the powdered concrete. And I'm so glad you kind of mentioned this. And I'm sorry, and I will have to apologize. I haven't even done it yet. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that real quick. And there we go. That's like perfect. Now there's no string in front of the door. You can just kind of open it, and Yeah, it closes automatically. Now Daphne Elaine is over there doing something that I don't want to necessarily spoil because I don't know if there's something going on with that. But yeah, now the last comment for today is by Dusty Official. And the reason why this one is kind of one of my favorite comments, or that this one is kind of my favorite comment for episode 8, is this is the episode, or after this episode, is where I hit 1,000 subscribers. Oh yes, we are finally at hitting monetization. So yeah, that actually might be kind of cool because I was talking to Mr. Slack Lizard about it, and he was kind of sharing some information with me about how to get the monetization set up, and yeah, all that YouTube mumbo jumbo. But anyways, yes, thank you, Dusty Official. He did congratulate me on that one, and you know, I kind of just like this comment. So even though I tried putting the little heart right there for the notification squad, it just looks a little weird in Minecraft. So yeah, those are the comments that you guys have left me for today, and man, I really do appreciate all the comments that you guys leave me. I read every single one of them. I try to reply to them all, and you know, I really do enjoy that you guys do participate with me on this adventure of being in Truly Bedrock on this survival map. Because man, I tell you what, man, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing all this stuff, but it is so fun, especially when I'm doing it with you guys. So without any further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and say thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.